Welcome back, everyone. Today we're learning about PDCs, which are essentially point defense turrets. Star Citizen has long been, I guess you could say, teasing this technology, and so finally, for the first time, players will be able to get their hands on PDCs as they make their way into Star Citizen. Today we're going to test the limits of the system. Now I want to say that this is still very early stages, and the only ships right now that currently have PDCs is the Constellation Phoenix. The Polaris, although very close to being flyable, is not in the game as of right now. However, the PDCs that are on display for us in this video will be on the Phoenix. We're going to see if we can put them to the test. I would assume that the PDCs on the Connie here are also going to be the PDCs that we'll start seeing on other ships like the Polaris, Idris, and many other ships as time goes on. I have always been a big fan of PDCs and never quite understood why CIG decided to go with World War II style turrets when they could have a much better, much more simplified, and much more user-friendly system such as PDCs. Perhaps this is the very first iteration of the Blade system as we go further into the game, but as of right now, let's put the PDCs to the test and see what they're capable of and what they're not capable of. We're going to start off with a series of tests, first establishing the field of fire and the defensible area that the PDCs are actually capable of defending, and then from there, work our way down from torpedoes to size 5s to size 3s and down. Okay, so let's do the first test. At 2.5 kilometers on 90 degree on the port side of the Constellation, we're going to see if the PDC reacts at 2.5 kilometers on the 90 degree. This should intercept the missile. However, if the physical geometry of the ship is blocking the view, this is a design issue that we want to address. But we're going to see if the PDC shoots through the geometry of the ship to defend it against an incoming missile from the port side. So go ahead, Frost, lock on and fire the missile. Let's see if the PDC system targets is engaging. Unfortunately, it was not a connection, and the ship did actually receive the missile hit. The power to the weapons is at maximum power, which means we have plenty of power to our weapon systems, but unfortunately the missile was not intercepted. That was a size 2 ignite missile. Okay, let's load up. Do you have any size 3s? Fire one size 3 missile at 2.5 kilometers. Go. PDC has locked on. Unfortunately, the PDC did not fire. Possibly because it is blocked in terms of its view, which is also the design issue we're talking about. So there is a blind spot on the port and starboard sides of every Constellation due to the engines being placed in the way of the PDC. PDC is now facing 90 degree position. Go ahead, target one size 2 missile, green light. PDC has locked on. PDC is engaging. PDC was unsuccessful in intercepting a size 2 missile. Go for a size 3 missile. PDC has locked on, engaging at 2,000 meters. The missile was unsuccessfully defended, which means another missile has hit the Constellation. Go for a size 5 torpedo. Let's see if the torpedoes are what the PDCs are designed to stop. Torpedoes in the air. PDC has not recognized the torpedo. PDC is unsuccessful at defending torpedo. Torpedo has struck. Okay, so this is going to be a 2.9 kilometer shot with size 5 Stalker torpedoes against the Constellation. The PDCs should engage this size 5 torpedo. I'm going to fire a volley to see how the PDC reacts to incoming targets. So as we can see here, we have 4 out of 4 Ignite 2s armed. We're going to switch that to Stalker 5s. Here, 1, 2, so on and so forth. As the line here increases, it arms the torpedo. The red line is my minimum firing distance, which we are right on the edge of, and that is my maximum firing distance. However, we do not have a number on this screen to tell me what my minimum and maximum lock and fire distance is. We just have a confusing hot and cold bar, essentially. So not a good job on the MFD display there, telling the pilot the information that they need to engage the target. As we can see here, The minimum fire distance is around 3 kilometers. However, it does not tell us that distance, it just gives us the hot and cold scale. Torpedoes are locked on, firing in 3, 2, 1, fire. Torpedoes away. Seems like all torpedoes struck the target. The PDCs did not shoot down any incoming torpedoes. Okay, we're going to try this again on a moving target. Yep, just don't turn your nose, just continue to move. And what we're going to do here is we're going to stalk target Stalker 5s, locking, target acquired. We're going to fire one at a time on a moving target. Missile away. Let's see if she tracks. Yep, good tracking on the missile. PDC locking, PDC engaging. Miss. Roger that. Strike. We're going to see if we can get another one. Keep moving. Stay 90. Locking. Torpedo away. Tracking. Torpedo is tracking. Torpedo is tracking. No PDC activity. Strike. PDC was either in the blind spot or it's been destroyed. Okay, we are recording. Okay, so this is going to be a moving shot from about 4 kilometers away. I'm just going to get my position on the camera here. Okay, targeting in 3, 2, 1. Torpedo away. Torpedo is tracking. Good track. I see no PDC activity at the moment. PDC activity. Good track on the torpedo. PDC, success! 6 kilometer, next shot. Keep your current heading. Stand by. Torpedo away. Good track on torpedo. No PDC activity. PDC activity. Success! Second torpedo down. Stand by for third attempt. Torpedo lock. Torpedo away. Good track on torpedo. PDC activity at 3 kilometers. Hey! Success! Good job. So it can block size 9s. Okay. Next test is going to be on a moving constellation with size 5 torpedoes from the Gladiator once again. Torpedo away. Good track on torpedo. Torpedo inbound. No PDC activity. Hit. It's likely that the engine got in the way and had the blind spot. Torpedo away. Good track on torpedo. Watching for PDC activity. And that's a hit. Status on Connie. Yep. So a single size 5 torpedo takes the Phoenix out. Torpedoes locking. Solid track. Firing. Torpedo away. Good track on torpedo. PDC's engaging at 2,000 to 2,500. No hit for the PDC. So that's a strike for the torpedo. We're going to try again and see if the PDC survived that impact. Wow, a 1 torpedo takes the ship completely out from full health to nothing. Even though it's not destroyed, it's been taken out of the fight. Wow, so even though it's not... That's actually better for pirates too, because 1 strike and then the ship's totally crippled. Torpedo away. Good track on torpedo. PDC engaging. Unsuccessful. Torpedo hit. Status on Connie. Still good. We're going to fire 2 torpedoes now and see how the PDC reacts. Torpedoes away. Good track on torpedoes. PDC engaging. No hits. Torpedoes struck the target. So in the end, it seems like size 9 torpedoes are counterable by the PDC. As we can tell pretty clearly though, the modern missile system that Star Citizen has is going to definitely need a rework from the ground up. The PDC system is basically ineffective against everything except for size 9 torpedoes, and only within a very limited window, as you can see here, with the overlaps and blind spots all around the constellation. There's always a rule of cool. There is always art. But at some point, you have to start looking at things a little more critically. I believe the Constellation is suffering from the same problem many multi-crew ships in Star Citizen have, and that is the rule of cool has left them desperately in need of defense technologies and proper design to make them viable, fun, and exciting for the rest of the player base. If I was going to do anything to the Connie, I'd put 2 PDCs on the front of it, just like this, to cover all the blind spots you can. Whatever the case may be, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you out in the verse and on streams every day at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Twitch. My name is Avenger1, and I'll see you next time. PDC is tracking at 5 kilometers. PDC has engaged at 3.5. Torpedo is tracking. That's a hit.